what to do if family doesn't support us in our Krishna consciousness?
Well, this is a problem.
Well, this is a problem.
And we found that in history,
We found that in history,
there are many such people
there are many such people
whose families did not support them.
whose family did not support them.
Usually,
Usually,
if we're too fanatic,
if they were too fanatic,
then we may burn out our family.
then if we are too fanatic, then we may burn out our family.
So we can be a little, tactful.
So we should be a little tactful.
How to deal with our parents
How to deal with our parents
so that they can support us.
so that they can support us.
Usually they want us to get our degree.
Usually they want us to get our degree.
Make a deal.
Make ideal.
I'll stay in college to get my degree.
I'll stay in college, I'll get my degree.
Let me chant Hare Krishna.
Let me chant Hare Krishna.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Ultimately, parents should want their children to be happy.
Ultimately, the parents, they want the children to be happy.
So, if you convince them
If you convince them
that this makes you happy,
that this makes you happy,
then they should agree.
then they should agree.
But maybe they have some. You see, I thought my parents
See, I thought my parents
would be very happy of being a devotee.
would be very happy that I have become a devotee.
I wrote to my mother and father,
So I wrote to my father and mother,
and to my surprise,
and to my surprise,
my father was very angry.
my father was very angry.
He said, "You come back immediately,
He said, "You come back immediately,
or I'll turn your name over to the USA Army,
otherwise I'll turn your name over to USA Army.
and you'll die in Vietnam.
Then you will die in Vietnam.
I renounce you as a child.
I renounce you as a child from the family.
So I lose all the inheritance and everything."
I will lose all the inheritance from the family."
I asked Prabhupada, what should I do?
So I asked Prabhupada, what should I do?
My father wants to turn my name over
My father wants to turn my name over
to the American Army.
to the American Army.
So at that time I was in Canada.
And at that time I was in Canada.
So Srila Prabhupada said,
And Srila Prabhupada said,
better you join Krishna's army.
"You better join Krishna's army."
So I joined Krishna's army.
So I joined Krishna's army,
I've been in the Krishna's army ever since.
and I've been in Krishna's army ever since.
My mother came up
My mother came up
and she told me,
and she told me,
why don't you be a Christian priest?
"Why don't you be a Christian priest?"
I said, well,
I said, "Well,
Lord Jesus said we should love God.
Lord Jesus said we should love God,
And now I have a guru who teaches me Bhakti Yoga,
and now I have a guru who teaches me Bhakti Yoga,
which is the systematic method of how to love God."
which is the systematic method how to love God."
And then she said, well, why don't you do this when you're old?
Then she said, "Why don't you do this when you are old?"
Then you can do it. Why now? Why don't do it when you're old?
Why now? Why now? You do it when you're old.
I asked her, how long will I live for?
I asked her, "How long will I live for?"
And she started crying.
Then she started crying.
No mother or father knows how long their children will live for.
No mother or father would know how long their child would live for.
Then how can you say,
Then how can you say,
do it when I'm older?
"Do that when I get older"?
What's the guarantee I'll live that long?
What's the guarantee that I will live that long?
Now later she started chanting 4 rounds.
Then later she started chanting 4 rounds.
She came to the temple.
She came to the temple.
She did different services.
She did different services.
My father,
My father,
after 8 years, he told me,
after 8 years, he told me,
father to father,
father to father,
son is a son,
father's father, son is a son.
I forgive you.
I forgive you.
Please come back.
Please come back.
So I visited him.
So I visited him.
But I stayed in Krishna consciousness.
But I stayed in Krishna consciousness.
I don't think it's so difficult for all of you.
I don't think it is so difficult for all of you.
I don't think your parents will renounce you.
I don't think your parents will renounce you.
You can make some arrangement
You make some arrangement,
to satisfy their interest,
satisfy their interest,
be Krishna conscious.
and be Krishna conscious.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.